Hi, I just wanted to do a real quick video. I have a lot of people asking me where I learned my Spanish or what is making me desire to learn more Spanish. And I'll start with when I was a kid, we lived in a little neighborhood, and I would say nearly all of my friends were Latino. Um, and I would always go over to their houses when I was little, and I'd always hear their parents and their family talking in Spanish, and I never understood what they were saying. But I always wanted to. I thought it would be really interesting to be able to understand more people around me and be able to communicate with everybody. And so that was always kind of the idea for me. Um, I actually went to my friend's house one time, and they had conchas, they had pan en la mesa, and I was starving. I was a little kid who just ate everything he saw, and I I ate the pan. I ate the pan on the table, and basically I ate 6 pieces of bread, and a little while later, I didn't think anything of it. I thought it was for everybody, because it's sitting on the table. I hear his mom yelling. She said something like, "Efrain, ¿quién comió toda pan?" or something like that. And he ended up getting in trouble for me because I was just a little psychopath, I suppose. So basically, yeah, that's kind of how I grew up. So I was about in middle school, I think. We took our first Spanish class for our school, and all they did was teach us little things like letters, numbers, and just colors, I think. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Basics. Um, and it wasn't until my older brother, he also speaks Spanish, better than me, believe it or not. My older brother, he began working at a factory where almost everybody there spoke Spanish. Everyone he worked with spoke Spanish, and he caught on really quickly. He worked there for a year, and he was practically fluent because that's all he would speak in Spanish. And he kind of brought that home, and I admired him for his ability. And I thought, well, if he can do it, obviously I can do it. And those friends that I had in elementary school, we all kind of still grew up together. So when I was in high school, one of my friends, his name was Mario, and Mario Uribe, and I'd always go to his family's houses a las fiestas, and I thought it was just so. Basically it was kind of vain, but I wanted to be the guy there that nobody expected to be able to speak Spanish, and just catch people by surprise. And I wanted to be part of the conversation, because countless times I would be sitting at the table and for hours, and people would be talking in Spanish, and I wouldn't understand anything, and I would just sit there doing my normal thing, like, mm-hmm, mm-hmm, see. um, and then I guess up until recently, I was not very good at all. I understood the basics, I suppose, but it was when I met my wife 4 years ago. That's when I really started learning, and because mi suegra y suegros, they only they don't only speak Spanish, but that's typically what they choose to speak, and I'd like to be part of the conversation again. And they've actually been doing a really great job in teaching me and motivating me. And my wife, I have to credit, she takes amazing time and effort in teaching me the right way to say things. So sometimes I'll just wing it and say some crazy stuff that I think makes sense in my head, but she really slows it down and gives me the reason why things are said the way that they're said. And that's so important if you're trying to learn another language, is you need someone there who knows both languages, who can teach you all the small details and the importance of the little things. And they'll be patient with you to slow down and correct you whenever you're wrong. And it's okay to be wrong. I know that I'm wrong a lot, and that's actually the most important part about learning another language. And so basically, that's kind of where I'm at. You guys, I have to thank you, everyone on my TikTok who has been commenting and giving me advice. I read those things, and they stick with me right here. And I really want to try to incorporate some of those lessons that you teach to me in my future videos. Now, I'm going to continue to learn Spanish. Also, Duolingo. Not a huge supporter of Duolingo because it's not quite the best way to learn, I don't think. But what it is really good for is learning the structure of sentences and the spelling of words. That's not something that's very easy to learn in person with somebody. It's kind of easier to see that on like the application on the phone. So I use Duolingo. And on top of that, usually when I drive to work, back and forth, I'll put on my Bluetooth in my car. I'll go to Spotify and I'll put on like a Spanish podcast, any of them. Like basically there's hundreds or thousands of Spanish learning podcasts. I usually just pick one and stick with it for a couple weeks, try to go through all the lessons just to, listen passively. That helps. I wouldn't say it's the best way because it's kind of robotic the way some of these like Spanish listening podcasts are, but you definitely get something from that. So I would say basically my idea was just to be fully immersed, completely surrounded by Spanish. That was my goal. I told all my compañeros a mi trabajo, por favor, me hablas en español, all the time, todas veces. And it's been working. It's kind of frustrating sometimes. They'll say something really fast, and I'll have to look at them like, sorry, I didn't understand what you said. And then I just feel like a nuisance, but it's all good. And that's basically all I got for kind of how I learned and what my goals are and what the best way for me to learn was. If you guys got any comments or questions, just send me, write a comment below. And yeah, que tengan un buen día. Adiós, amigos.